This is our new Allie, mini Allie. This is our giant who's here with me now. So it is my pleasure to welcome you all to our 4th annual Blue South BBQ. Thank you so much for being here. We are so excited, a packed room of Democrats that are clearly excited not only for a special election, but for the midterms next year. I want to thank you all for your support of our party and the electoral process. Many thanks to the Benevolent Lodge, Order 210, for allowing us to use their facility for this barbecue. I want to make sure we thank our sponsors, our barbecue heroes, Representative Vincent, Dixie, and Representative Aftyn, Behn. We have our barbecue advocates, Representative Ronnie, Glynn, and Representative Behn. And to all of you that are in this room, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate it. We are honored to have a long list of speakers for you today. I know you guys aren't here to hear me talk, so I'm going to make mine brief. We have Mr. Carney, who is the president of the Benevolent Lodge, Order 210. And we have CMCSS school board member, Carol Berry. Now, I do unfortunately have to make a sad announcement. There was a candidate, David Jones, that was going to be running for the Tennessee 7, but he has decided to step down from the race due to a new family circumstance. I will let him make his announcement in due time, but we send him all the best for his family and thank him for even being willing to step into the race, because it's not easy to make that decision. As a former candidate myself, I know how hard it is to put your family on hold for a minute. So hopefully run and make some change. But also Representative Behn. I'll pass him off to his dad. Representative Behn is also unfortunately not here today, but his wife will be speaking on his behalf. So please make sure when she comes up, we give her a nice warm welcome as well. So I want to say first, we're going to hear from President Carney on the history of the Benevolent Lodge here in Montgomery County. If you would like to come on up.
Thank you. It's an honor to be able to stand. I'm a little nervous. I mean, I don't know too many people at one time. I'm going to try to be brief. I am the president of this organization. I have been in this position for 41 years. And this is kind of like a family organization here. And the Benevolent Lodge has been in existence ever since 1872. And it was under the delegate assembly for many years, but as the years went by, they began to fall apart. And Benevolent Lodge itself was chartered in the state of Tennessee under Benevolent Lodge number 3. Then it was Benevolent Lodge number 7. Then it ended up as being Benevolent Lodge number 210. And there was 218 Benevolent Lodges in the state of Tennessee at one time. And we're the only lodge that is chartered under the Benevolent 210 Lodge. And under the organization of this lodge, it was during the Depression time when, you read the book of was it Harriet Parks Miller, was called a colored Christian book. And it gave the history of what they would call colored people of those days, but now we're called black. But anyway, it was colored Christian. And the purpose of this lodge was to take care of the sick and bury the dead. And most of the members of the lodge originated from a church. And the first church in Fort Royal was Mount Zion Baptist Church. And then it was in existence in 1867. And most of the members was from that church. And they all came together and formed a coalition with the Benevolent Lodge. I'm gonna try to be as slow as I can so I don't get out of here. But anyway, it's an honor for you to be here today because this means a lot to us to let you know what we represent. We represent this community, and we have a lot of people that we try to take care of. We give scholarships, and we try to give donations. And I'm the 5th generation of this Benevolent Lodge. And I have one of my members here today, which is Charles Osmond, and he and I have the same great-grandfather, if you can follow that tree. So it kind of goes all down. You know how you need to, everyone needs to find out where that tree starts from, because you never know who you're going to run across sometime. But anyway, we're glad to have you here, and we hope you have a good time. Now that sign on the wall there, we have our annual picnic on the first Saturday in August. And if you don't have anything to do, we have some of the best barbecue that you can eat. We're gonna barbecue 6 hogs, 4 sheets. And this, we do it the old-fashioned way. If you ever done a barbecue hog, you have to use the slabs and the emblems from the slabs to barbecue the hog. So if you don't have anything to do, come back and join us on first Saturday in August. We have the barbecue, and we have fireworks on that Friday night, which we have a fish fry. So if you can, anytime you need to, the lodge for any kind of function, it's always available. So we appreciate you coming, and we hope you'll come back.
Thank you so much, President Carney, and thank you again for allowing us to use your space today. We deeply appreciate it. Our next speaker is going to talk about our incredible Clarksville, Montgomery County school systems and keep us kind of up to date on what's going on out there in public schools. The Honorable Carol Berry.
Thank you. It is an honor to be here. But I see myself as being called to serve Clarksville, Montgomery County. And those of you who know me know that I'm going to do what's right for children. I just want to say that Clarksville, Montgomery County is an incredible school district. And we're incredible because you send us your best children. And then we do our best to make sure that we have people that work with those children to meet the needs of our children in this community. I want to say that there are lots of reasons why we are an incredible school district. Our academic performance is almost second to none. We lead the state in academic performance, and not only that, we lead this nation. Why do you think the crowd keeps coming to Clarksville? It's because we have good schools. And not only do our children perform, but our children, we try to meet the individual needs of children. Now, I know that we're mandated by the state. We have standards that we have to teach the students. But I want to tell you that we have some of the best trained and compassionate teachers that anyone could have in the classroom with their children. And we make sure that our children reach their potential. And not only that, that they are either career or college ready when they leave Clarksville, Montgomery County schools. Now, I want to say that it's so important that not only do they perform well academically, but socially, our children get a chance to interact and do things that make them socially rounded. Can't say that for all those charter schools. Our children can adjust because they have been around people that are different from them. Diversity is really great in Clarksville, Montgomery County. And that's because we work and we make sure that they have opportunities to interact with other people. Maybe they don't look like them. Maybe they don't even talk like them. Use the same language, but they can adjust. And so we prepare our children not only for interacting in school, but with others as they go into their careers. We start very early making sure that the children have a focus on what they're going to do when they leave our schools. And I want to say to you that those are just a few of the things. We focused on safety. We had hundreds of opportunities or hundreds of situations last year, but not one person was killed in Clarksville, Montgomery County because of all of the safety things, measures we have in place. And that was one of the things I ran on when I ran for school board, that we would have officers in every school. I thank you for your time, and because we do such a good job, our kids are prepared when they go into their careers, or they go into college, they are ready. And thank you for listening, and may God bless you.
Thank you again to the Honorable Carol Berry for doing all that hard work for our school systems as a mom with a child in our public schools. It's deeply appreciated, so thank you. All right, guys. Who's ready to win this special election? I know times are tough, and there's a lot of tweets and true socials going out there, and we're talking about Epstein and talking about Cankles and all this other stuff, but right now, and if you don't know, Trump has something going on with his ankles. I don't know. But right now, we have a real opportunity to flip Tennessee 7. A real opportunity. And it starts with those of us here in this room and those of us that are on the ground and ready to go. So, with that being said, we're going to take a brief 15-minute break. There is water, lemonade, and more importantly, beer back there. Please drink responsibly. And there's also food. Mingle amongst yourselves. And then as soon as we come back, we're going to hear from the Democratic candidates for the Tennessee 7 congressional race. So we'll see you guys in 15 minutes.
All right, Democrats. When I say fired up, you say ready to go. Fired up. To flip Congressional District 7. Let me break out a little bit of math. Let me nerd out for just a second. I'm Charles Upland. I was your county party chair, and thank God I'm not anymore. Thank you for Allie for taking on the reins. We are excited about this opportunity that Mark Green resigned for a second time, and God willing, it sticks and he actually leaves Congress tomorrow, and we have us a real race. So let me nerd out. All right, this race is normally 22 points Republican. Sounds terrible, sounds awful, we can't win that. But hold up. We got special elections happening all across the country. We've had multiple congressional special elections in this country since Trump took office. And the average swing from right to left on all these races is 20 points. So if you're keeping the math at home, that means we're 2 points away. That is a flippable seat if I ever saw one. Are y'all ready to go? All right. So we've got 4 candidates that have stood up to do this race. These are folks who have been mentioned in the news media. They have spoke at the TNDP dinner, and that's how they qualified tonight. And so they got to draw their speaking order out of an envelope. And so, in order, we'll have Representative Aftyn Behn, Representative Vincent Dixie, Representative Darden Copeland, and then, not Representative Darden Copeland, Darden Copeland, no title, and then the spouse of Representative Bo Mitchell, Chastity Mitchell, filling in he had to miss today for a family emergency. So we're thankful to have all of them. In the back corner, if you see Jean, who's now raising her hands, you can vote in our straw poll. This is your first chance to say who you want to take on the Republicans in this district. So for $1 vote, you can vote in the straw poll. Every dollar you put in that is going to help us flip TN7. So I'd love to have y'all vote in that before it closes. What time is it closing? Do we know?
No, we can Carney will announce it.
We don't know when it's closing. The Carney will let us know when it's.
I will let you know when we go, 5 minutes to go.
All right, 5 minutes and we'll let you know. All right. So, and 10 votes per person. No stuff in the ballot box, more than 10. All right, so we are very glad to welcome our first speaker, who drew first, a friend of mine, Representative Aftyn Behn.
All right, Montgomery County! All right, well, first I want to start by saying thank you to the Montgomery County Democratic Party. I'm so grateful to all the cooks and organizers of this event. I know what it takes to throw something like this together, so thank you so much. Two, I just want to acknowledge the hard work that you all have been doing in Montgomery County over the past decade. You all, by voter contact by voter contact, door by door, protest by protest, you all have been building back power in your county to turn it purple and to hopefully turn it blue that would change the tides of Tennessee and take back the state. All right, so why did I jump in this race? I have a friend who is 62 years old. Her name is Miss Pamela Maxwell. She lives on $660 in SSDI benefits per month. And in May, she had open heart surgery. And she called TennCare, that's who paid for her surgery, and they denied her a life-saving medication because it wasn't profitable for them. And then the same week, she received a letter from our Social Security agency that because of the Trump administration, she'd have to go in and bargain for her SSDI benefits. Miss Pamela Maxwell is the reason that I'm here today, and I'm fighting for her. As a pissed off social worker, I'm done begging for crumbs. I'm done asking politely while our systems are falling apart, and our state has been sold to the highest bidder. To the veterans in the room, woo! Your politicians have been spending billions of dollars for forever wars instead of building the world-class VA system you all deserve.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To the black women in the room, you all have been carrying democracy on your backs, and instead you have politicians that give you lip service instead of legislation that would meaningfully change your life. Yes. Yes. Meanwhile, the rich get richer, and the politicians in this state gaslight us into thinking that Tennessee is the greatest state in this country, and thinking that this is the best we can do. Do you all think this is the best we can do? No! No more crumbs. It's time to flip this seat. It's time to flip Congress, and it's time to flip the damn table. This congressional seat will be the only Republican to Democrat district special election in the entire country. The entire country will be watching Clarksville. We'll be watching Montgomery County. We'll be watching the state. And what an opportunity for us to say, we're not taking it anymore. Hell no! That's right. This race is a referendum on the big, beautiful bill that passed. And I'm not running against any of my opponents. I'm running against every member of Congress that voted for that bill. So Montgomery, the table is turning. We have the opportunity to usher in a new era and know that Tennessee can do better, but I can't do this without you. So I'm running for the 7th Congressional District. I hope I have your support, and let's take back Tennessee.
Thank you, Representative Behn. Our next speaker, another good friend of mine from Nashville as well, Representative Vincent Dixie.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
All right.
All right. I'm glad this is not outside. Glad it's in here. Thank you for whoever did it. Thank you for the Montgomery County Party guys. I appreciate it. My name is Vincent Dixie. I'm State Representative District 54. I'm going to my 4th term in January, my fourth term. And I'm also the past House Democratic Caucus chairman. And so I'm running because working families don't have anybody watching me that has their back. Nobody's watching their back. things are getting more expensive. Now, let me know this by a round of applause, or yeah or nay. Are you tired of having to pay more for groceries?
Yeah.
More for gas?
Yeah.
More for housing?
Yeah.
And last but not least, more for healthcare?
Yeah.
We have to work together to do this. Because right now, politics has become a team sport. And it's not about a team sport. It's not about black, white, tall, short, Republican, Democrat. These are real life issues that we have to solve. We have to take care of the people who take care of us. Nobody's looking out for the people who care for our kids, who care for our loved ones, who teach our kids. Who are we fighting for? We're fighting for something that overseas that does not impact us right now, our everyday lives. And I need everyone here to not only just get involved, but if you're here, I know you're involved. So we need to get you out to get everybody else involved and get them out to the special election. Because we know that Democrats overperform in special elections, and we can actually have a chance to flip this seat. You can pick who goes into this seat. And we need you, I need you. But we need somebody that's actually gonna fight for the everyday person. And that's where I come in. And I know this is a military town. My family, I come from a military town. My brother retired from the Air Force, so he did 20 years in the Air Force. And I know the needs of what goes on here. And I know the base is not fully staffed, and it's not getting the funding that it needs. And we need to make sure that people have good jobs. Because if you have a good job, you're not out robbing, stealing, killing, because you gotta go to work to provide for your family. And so we have to get back to giving policies that truly impact and work for our people. Because people don't realize policy creates poverty. And if policy can create poverty, we can use policy to kill poverty. But I need your help to do this. People should be thriving, not just surviving. We have to get people out of survival mode. I'm one of those people that have lived check to check, paycheck to paycheck, hand to mouth. So I'm with you, this is me, this is who I'm fighting for, it's us. I understand that we need to make sure that people have enough money to have a roof over their head, enough money to pay their bills, enough money to put food on their table, and more importantly, if they get sick, to go see a doctor. Again, my name is Representative Vincent Dixie. I humbly ask for your vote and your support, and please, whatever you do, please go vote and take somebody else with you, because that's the most important thing that we get here. Even though we have all of us running against each other, but the most common thing that we have to have in common is to go out and get the vote out. And we have to commit to doing that together. Thank you.
Thank you all, and our next speaker is Darden Copeland.
Good evening, thank you all very much for having me. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
My name is Darden Copeland, and I'm going to introduce myself to you all because I am not a representative. As Chaz mentioned.
Sorry.
No, all right. I'm not an elected official. I've never run for anything, so first time, bear with me. I've never been elected to anything except elder in my church. And I think a Democrat who talks about their faith, it's not a bad thing. I think that's going to help carry this district. My wife and I ran our youth group at our church. She did it for about 6 years until our first came, and then after the second came, she yanked me out of there. I did about 10 years. I've taken kids to mission trips to Guatemala, and that's just part of who I am. I'm also a lifelong Democrat. I got started in campaigns in high school and then in college. I worked in the Virginia governor's race. That was my first campaign in 1997. Then I raised money for Gephardt and Kennedy. I worked for Gore in the primary and the general. I worked for Carville after Gore did not win the Supreme Court vote. And I worked for Tim Kaine when he was mayor of Richmond. A city council member, sort of part-time, and I did his first statewide race, crisscrossing Virginia to get him elected to office as lieutenant governor. A number of other races since then, Salazar, Carey, Edwards, a few others. And I've done special elections. I know how to win elections. I stepped back from electoral politics, though, in 2004. I was burned out. We had lost the White House again to George W. Bush, who, sort of sounds quaint now. I'd rather have that guy than Trump. But I stepped back and I started building a public affairs career. And I went into direct democracy. I built a firm that is national in scope, headquartered here in Nashville, and I went to to red communities, blue communities, red communities, it didn't matter, and we helped build solar farms. We've helped permit and build over 10 gigawatts of solar renewable energy facilities across the country. That's enough to power all of the homes in Rhode Island and Delaware. Montgomery County, you guys have 2 great projects here for Silicon Ranch. The power that's generated there, it's about 1,800 homes. We've built many more all across the country. I get results. We've helped build hospitals in blue counties and in red counties and in rural communities. We've helped put grocery stores where there are food deserts. We've helped build affordable housing and get into local zoning codes and local county commissions and state law, and we get results. And I think as we think about who can go and represent and win against the Republicans that they're going to put up, we have to ask ourselves a couple of questions. One, electability. Who can get elected in this district? We have a math problem. We have great elected officials. Bo's been at this since 2000. I think the first time he ran city council, and he's been in the arena a long time. And he needs to be applauded for that. Vincent's the nicest guy in the world, and I love this guy. And Aftyn, where did Aftyn go?
Where?
She's got more energy than the Energizer Bunny times 5. And so if we could pull this together, we can do it. I'm not running against these guys. I'm running against the clown car of Republicans that gets bigger and bigger every day. We have cut 46% of the Department of Education, their jobs. We've cut 32,000 jobs in the Department of Agriculture. We've got a Republican on the other side that wants to eliminate the Department of Education, absolutely just get rid of it. $3 billion from Tennessee gone. My wife and I sat up late on Thursday night, and we were watching C-SPAN. We watched the NPR vote. You guys are familiar with this. They just rescissioned back about $9 billion. $1 billion of it went to NPR stations, rural stations across the country, including here in the district. And it passed the rescission to pull the money back. Passed by 3 votes. We had 2 Republicans come over and vote with us, but we still lost by 3. And Aftyn is right. We've got 3 empty seats right now. These are Democrats that have passed away. A Democrat will fill the seat. So we literally are going to be tied. And so the eyes of the nation will be on this district to figure out what's the balance of power in Congress. And we can win with, I think, somebody that has gotten results and has that experience. Or we can feel good about who we ran and have a moral victory. We can outperform, and that's not enough for me. I didn't get into this to outperform or have a moral victory. I got into this to win. I have a great life. I'm married with 2 kids. I have a great career, great job. But we have to send the right Democrat to face the Republicans in what will be December the 2nd, it looks like. And we have to send somebody that is electable. Our representatives here, they live and work and represent safe Democratic seats. They're safe. This is not a safe district. Megan Barry, she won 38%. Great community organizer, Dynamo community organizer, second only to Aftyn, got 38%. We can't keep doing the same thing here and expect a different result. That's why I'm in there. That's why I'm in this race. So I filed the paperwork on Monday. We will have a website up. My treasurer's been out of town all week. Go to my website eventually and look and learn a little bit more about me and give me a shot. Thank you.
All right, and to round out the group, we have the spouse of Representative Bo Mitchell, Chastity Mitchell.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. First and foremost, my name is Chastity Mitchell. I'm Bo's wife. But I do want to start by saying that he is so sad he can't be here with you today. But there is a family commitment that he just absolutely couldn't miss. And so if you know Bo, he shows up for us. Yes, us, our family. But he also shows up for all of us. And so he really takes that commitment very seriously. So he did ask me to be here and speak to you on his behalf, not just as his wife, but as a Tennessean and somebody who knows exactly what kind of leader that he is. I've seen Bo show up for people our entire life. And those kind of issues that our district in the 7th district are facing, he's faced his whole life. So a little bit about Bo. If you don't know, he grew up in Dixon County. So not too far from here. He also used to work here in Clarksville for the Chamber of Commerce as the Military and Government Affairs Director. So deep roots in the entire 7th District. But as a young person in Dixon County, when he was 10 years old, his dad, his drywall man, and he had a terrible heart attack. and was no longer able to work. As a result, lost his health insurance. So Bo tells this funny little story about in baseball one year, he broke his finger and had to put a popsicle stick on it. And that's the kind of experience that young people don't forget. And it really did flavor and color his life experience and why he's running for this office. Because when he talks about healthcare, when he talks about the challenges that our community faces, he's lived it. You know, that's exactly why he's running for Congress. He's not running for a title. He's running to bring back an America that's for all of us, not just for some of us. He's working for working families, for schools, and to bring back, for the people who keep getting left behind. He's also running because of that big billionaire bill. The devastating effects that it's going to have on communities like the 7th District are unfathomable. Rural hospitals are going to close, schools are gutted, folks have lost their ability to have healthy food and snacks for the communities that need it most. And if you know Bo, you know he's going to stand up and say that's absolutely not right. And he knows that's wrong, and he's not afraid to stand up. If you've seen him in the Tennessee legislature, you know he's the first one to stand up. He's gone toe-to-toe with both parties if he thinks what they're doing is wrong, but he's also stood up for teachers. He's stood up for public schools. He is supporting community safety. He's brought infrastructure dollars to the community, fought for health care, and he never forgets who he's fighting for, and that's us. So as a mom, I want a state where our kids really have their rights protected. And that's the exact same kind of Tennessee that Bo's fighting for. And that's the kind of congressman he'll be. So I'm asking you to stand with us and join our team. Go to votevo.com to elect somebody who leads with heart and who is deeply rooted in every part of the 7th District. And he wakes up every day to fight for you and fight for us. So thank you for your support, and I hope you consider joining our team.
Thanks to all of our candidates for being here and spouses. Great job, Chastity. We didn't put first names on the bucket, so if you want to vote for Chastity, it still goes individually. So, the next part of this will be Copeland and a time for you to meet the candidates. So if you don't want to just go off a 5-minute speech, the candidates are still in the room. We will lock the doors if they try to leave. And you can ask them whatever you want. You can talk to them one-on-one and then vote in the straw poll in the back. I do want to recognize some officials. Sorry, I'm going to introduce Christine in just a second. I want to recognize some officials that are here. We have Montgomery County's trustee, Kimberly Wiggins. We have council member Brian Zacharias. And we have the head of Clarksville Gas and Water, Mark Riggins, in the back. All right, and before she comes up, I'm just very proud of Christine McKinney hosting her first fundraising event. And now we will hear from our second vice chair for fundraising, Christine McKinney.
Again, I am Christine McKinney, and I am so pleased to have you all here. This is just exciting. I am honored to be the second vice chair for fundraising. Fundraising is actually a lot of fun. It's not just that we plan parties, which obviously we do beautifully, but we enjoy that, yes, but what's really fun is that we get to see the tangible rewards of what we're doing, because we get to see the money coming in. And the money coming in is the important thing. It's healthy deposits coming to the bank, and not just for that, but because of what it allows us to do with that money. It takes a lot to elect somebody to office. It takes first and foremost somebody willing to stand up and be a candidate. I have to tell you that I was a candidate 3 years ago for county commissioner. And actually, Chaz got me into it because he said there was not going to be anybody running against me. So I said, okay, but there was, and I lost. lost by 17 votes. So don't let anybody tell you that your vote doesn't matter. And I think there are probably 1 or 2 or 10 people in this room who could be candidates, like you. You're gonna be a candidate, right? Yeah, you're not looking at me. Oh, I'm looking at you, Suzanne. Or I'm looking at you, Joe. You can be a candidate, right? Oh, absolutely. Because in 2026, we need 40 candidates. We've got close to 40 races. That's both mayors, all of the county commissioners, half of the school board, half of the city council, the trustee, all the county seats. That's a lot of candidates that we need. So think about it. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay. And since so many of you are now going to run for office, right? We need volunteers to help you win. To make phone calls, to knock on doors, right, Allie? To organize meet and greet affairs and fundraisers. Yes, more fundraisers. Signs and texts and flyers, texts and ads all cost money. We have to pay for this stuff. We can't just, word of mouth is great, but we actually need to get other things out there. So as the fundraising committee for the MCTNDP, is my team's responsibility to raise money so that we can support our Democratic candidates. We have a budgeted goal of $26,000 that we wanted to have on hand next spring. That's not just, that's over and above what it's taking to run the office and to do our normal day-to-day work, right? We need $26,000 in hand so that we can flip seats here in Montgomery County and retain the ones that we already have, right? Like Carol Berry's, like Kimberly Wiggins, like Brian Zacharias. But now we have a special congressional election, which is, that could just decide the balance of the U.S. House. Think what that would mean for our country. Instead of this dystopian hellscape in which we live, we could actually do things that would benefit people. Or at least we could stop them from doing things that are harming people, which is what they seem to take great joy in. So we need to stop that, and we need to do that by electing a Democrat to Tennessee 7. So let's do that. We have 2 major fundraisers every year. One is the Blue South BBQ, and the other is the Blue South Banquet. We also hold smaller events throughout the year because every dollar raised helps. But one of the most painless ways that we raise money is with our Blue South Booster program. So this is a recurring donation program that allows you, the donor, to set an amount to be automatically donated to the party each month. So, okay, you do that, so what do you get for that? Well, you get the satisfaction of helping to ensure that we can help our candidates with organizing, mailers, texts, ads, and everything else. But you also, Blue South boosters at the recommended levels receive free tickets to the 2 Blue South fundraisers every year, to the barbecue and to the banquet. So boosters who give at least $26 a month receive 1 free ticket. Boosters who give at least $48, that entitles you to 2 free tickets to each of those 2 events. And that's can be huge. So you're paying for a little bit at a time instead of all at once. See what a good idea that is. So to become a Blue South booster, there are some signs on the tables. If you just scan that will take you to the Active page and you can become a Blue South booster. It doesn't have to be at the $26 or $48 level. We are thrilled with $5. Any amount you can give us is important. Every dollar helps. I know I said that, but I really, really mean it. Every dollar helps. So please take this opportunity. Sign up now if you can. If you can't, simply go to the Blue South Booster under the drop-down, under the Take Action drop-down on our website, MCTNDP.org, Montgomery County, Tennessee Democratic Party. That's how that works. All of the instructions are there. If you have any questions about the booster program or any of our fundraisers, you can always come talk to me or anybody on the fundraising committee. You can email me at fundraising@mctndp.org. Speaking of the Blue South Banquet, we have an announcement for you. More information will be forthcoming. A lot more information will be forthcoming. You got a whole bunch of emails from me on this one. You're gonna get a whole bunch on the Blue South Banquet too. But I am pleased to tell you that our banquet is set for November 14th. So mark that down, that's a Friday. It's not even gonna be a weekday this time, it's a Friday, November the 14th. And our keynote speaker will be David Hogg. So, David Hogg is a survivor of the 2018 Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting in Parkland, Florida. He is a gun control activist. He is also the co-founder of Leaders We Deserve, which is a grassroots organization dedicated to electing young progressives to state and national offices to help defeat the far-right agenda. So this is going to be a really exciting event. I hope you can all make plans to join us. So again, now it's your turn. If you haven't already, meet the candidates. Take the time to go get, we're bringing the cobbler in as we speak. Yes, Allie's here. There's hot cobbler and ice cream. And come and get that. Vote in the straw poll. Talk to your fellow Democrats. Make some friends. We're all here for the same purpose. We all want to elect Democrats to office. So we have a lot of really good, we have 4 excellent candidates for this race. Whichever one wins, we are all going to get behind and we're going to get out the vote for that person because we've got to put this seat, right? Right. Okay. So after this, we will have Nathan Higdon from the TNDP and Glynn, maybe. And then we will have the results of the straw poll at the end of the event. And again, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Have a good time.
So here is TNDP Vice Chair Nathan Higdon.
All right, good evening, Montgomery County. Thank you. So the last speaker had mentioned something about folks running. How many of you have ever stepped into a ballot box and you look at all the names on there and you're like, I'm just not feeling it? Has that ever been you? Yes. Y'all, I'm going to break the hard truth to you. If you have walked into a voting booth and no one deeply resonates, it's your time. It's your time to pull a petition and run for office.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. If you want to get behind somebody 100%, it might just be you. But I always like to bring my money where my mouth is. And I've made this commitment to every county I've been to so far. If you pull a petition and run for a local office, I will be your first donor and I will give you $100. I know, and I hope everyone does. I hope you make me have to take a 5th job. But I'm committed, because here's the thing, I believe in investing in Tennessee. Because we are in fact worth fighting for. Yeah. So, thank you, Chair Phillips, Past Chair Uppelman. I'd like to thank our State Executive Committee members, Rod Mills, wherever he went, and Karen Sorensen. Thank you so much for the introduction.
Yeah,
So, thank y'all for inviting me for the barbecue, and most of all, for the energy that I've been seeing for the time that I've been here with y'all. Because I can feel it. Can you?
Yes.
Yeah. It's that sense that there's something big a-coming. And that we're not just waiting for change here in Montgomery County or across the state, but we are all actively building toward it. Yeah. One neighbor, one precinct, and one conversation at a time.
Yes. Yes. Amen.
Now, let's talk about a big reason we're here tonight. And that is the special election you've heard from the candidates we've got coming up for Congressional District 7. Let me say this clearly, and it's something I say all the time. Rural counties are the heart of every race, all across the country, especially across the South. And if we want to flip this seat, and it is entirely possible, and make no mistake, we should flip this seat. It's gonna take every single one of you in this room, plus your friends and your family, to help lead the way forward, right?
Yeah.
So this is our moment. And it's not just for one election, and y'all do a really good job of this up here. This is about how we organize, how we show up, continue to show up, and how we build the kind of democratic infrastructure that doesn't disappear after November elections.
Yes.
Right? Because you know, if we're going to win the special in District 7 and keep winning, we can't just campaign. We have got to connect directly and regularly with our neighbors.
Yes.
Yes.
And that means precinct level organizing. You're going to hear a lot more about this soon, if you haven't already. And what that means is knowing your neighborhood, not just your state. It means showing up to school board meetings, to union rallies, to Sunday dinners, and listening more than we talk. It's going to be tough for some of us. I'm one of us. And we don't flip seats by parachuting in every 2 years. We flip them by becoming an integral part of the fabric of our communities. So, y'all just heard from the candidates a little earlier. They are in fact fired up, and so are we at the TNDP. And I know y'all are. So let's be real. Only one of them is going to make it through the primary. And when that happens, it is all hands on deck. All of them. There is no room for ego. There's no room for excuses. And no one is setting this out.
Amen.
No one. We get past the primary, you will step up for whoever it is.
Yes.
Period. Or I will be back and remind you. Because this isn't about one candidate, right? It's about all of us, all across the state. You get to vote for them, but getting a new voice in Congress impacts all of Tennessee, all of us. Even me way over in Bullock County in East Tennessee. It's something that we all get to be excited about. So, this is about the kind of Tennessee that I know you want to live in, and I sure as hell am tired of living in the present Tennessee we got, and I'm tired of losing.
Yes.
Really tired of losing. And so we're going to show up, and we are going to show this nation that the pathway to change runs right through Tennessee and through the South. So we make no mistakes. There is no pathway that doesn't run through rural Tennessee. Thank y'all so much. It's a pleasure to be here, and I will be back. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nathan. We have needed those words, we need to hear those things, and we also need to be really conscious about our commitment to the party once the primary is over. Whoever wins the primary, we're all in.
Yes.
All of us. All of us.
Yes.
And we've got to flip this, and it's going to take all of us to make that happen. Now it's my pleasure, if he's in the room, to introduce our very own representative, Ronnie Glynn.
You all know how much I love that. No. I just walked up here and I feel like I'm at church and here's the pastor and his wife sitting over there. I did not realize this was up here until I just walked up here. We got the pastor and his wife. Amen. How y'all doing? All right, how y'all doing today? I apologize for being late. I was asleep. I was actually at the Kenwood backpack event. Yeah, I was over at the Kenwood backpack event. I wanted to make sure I went over there and showed my face and said hi to the kids. And let me tell you something, it was a lot of folks there. It was a lot of folks there. What's going on, Brian? How you doing? Did I win that? Did you get it back? They wouldn't give me one. I tried. I was trying to get one for my grandchildren. They said I got too many of them, and so they wouldn't give me one. But I did go over and say hi and just kind of let everyone know that, I had somewhere else to be, but it was good to just go out and say hi to everyone. But man, there's some beautiful faces out here. I see a lot of my colleagues. They're Representative Aftyn Behn over here. I'm sure y'all heard us speak. Representative Vincent Dixie's in the back. That's all in me. And then I heard Representative Bo Mitchell's wife is here. Where is she at? There she is. I've not had an opportunity to meet her, but how you doing? Hey, girl. Wait a minute, I just hugged you outside, didn't I?
I know.
I didn't know that was you. Oh, I sure did. So it is. So
That's why you were bringing it in?
yeah, we bring that energy in. That's what it was. Well, I tell you what, as you all know, we are getting ready for a special election, and you've heard from the candidates, and so I'm sure you all are very pleased with what we have to pick from.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. And when I think about what we have to pick from, it is 100 times better than what we had previously. And if you look on the other side who's deciding to run, it's 1,000 times better than what's going to be running on that other side. I heard today that y'all good friend Boso was going to join the race. How did y'all say that about him? Boso is the most hateful man I ever met in my life, but that's a whole other story. So anyway, we have a lot of good candidates that's running. And so I hope you all have took the time to really learn about them, to get to know them. I'm not gonna tell you who I'm supporting, I'm sure you already know. And the reason being is because I have known this guy for quite a while. He actually reached out to me in 2020 when I wasn't even running for a House seat, I was running for a Senate seat. And he reached out to me just to say, hey, I'm here to support you if you need anything. So it would be wrong for me not to support him in this particular race, and I'm sure at this point y'all probably figured out who that is, but that's my personal opinion. Right? He was promising me he's gonna invite me to the elk club, and I ain't got out there yet. So. But it's an opportunity really and truly to energize voters now. We are not in an election season, which makes it all that much better. Because now we can energize voters in the special election and continue that momentum into the midterms. We all know midterms is during the time when we have the least amount of voters who are engaged. Well, if we get them engaged now in the special election, we can continue that momentum going forward. But we have to get out there and do the work now. And regardless who you're knocking doors for, who you're supporting, you need to be supporting all the candidates in the fact that however it turns out, we still need to be out there supporting Democrats. Because we know what we're up against. If you haven't been paying attention, you don't have to watch CNN, NBSNC, or whatever, or Fox to know we are in some very, very treacherous times. This man has this man is crazy. That's the bottom line. I mean, this is some pettiness that we're dealing with. He wouldn't even allow James Clapper to go to an event for a dog that was named after his wife. That is a different level of pettiness. And when we're dealing with that, that shows that that's someone that the fact that if we were to actually go into a real war where we had to send troops, I would be very petrified. Because this guy does not think off of intelligence. He thinks off of emotions. And it's sad, it's scary. And so we have to have people in that office that really and truly thinks through the process before we just allow this man to go out and do things. So we have to make sure we're out there knocking doors. We have to make sure we get a Democrat elected in this seat, because it is that important to ensure that we break down this majority that they have, because right now, they're just doing whatever they want. Who all agree with the big beautiful bill? No? No of them good things inside of it? I know, right? A bunch of crap. But this is what we're dealing with, and it's just only gonna get worse. I thought when they came in office, they were all about the border. I haven't heard a word about the border since. It's all about what can I throw against the wall and what will stick. And that's what this administration is about. So we have to have someone up there that can change that, make it difficult for them. So let's make sure we are getting out, we're supporting a candidate, regardless who that candidate is. And when the primary is over, we all get behind whatever candidate it is and make sure we get a Democrat elected. And just as important, we keep the momentum going after the fact. Let's not get them elected and then everybody go home and put their hands in their pocket. Because that's what kills us every time. When we put our hands in our pocket and think, oh, well, I'll come back in October. Well, October will be too late. We need to stay on top of it now. We need to get young folks engaged. We need to make sure they understand what's at stake. And we need to be a part of that. And we need to be talking to them every day, especially getting ready to go into the new school year, right? Because it's important. I had an opportunity to go to Rossville toward the end of the school year. And the one thing I loved about Rossville was they actually bring someone in, the pastor's leaving, hold on, they actually bring someone in who registers the seniors. They bring someone in who actually gets their seniors registered to vote. Rossville. Now, I'm not sure any other schools in Northeast State.
Through the English classes. Through the English classes.
Through the English classes. Well, Rossville do every senior. They bring them in and they register every senior in that class to vote. So I'm going to be looking at trying to get every school in Montgomery County to do the same thing. Because we have to make sure that young folks understand why it is important to vote. Now, right now, they don't see it. They just think, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. But everything that's happening now will affect them down the road, and we have to explain that to them. I love seeing 8500 in here, who's so young, and she knows the process and what it takes, and she also dates my grandson. But that's another story. But she understands what it means to vote and why it's so important. Because someone as young as her is being affected by the policies that's being made today. And a lot of these kids do not understand that, so it's important that we get out and teach them. And it's important we teach them while they're still in school, so when they get out, they're ready. So at this point, what, I got 1 minute left? I'm over time by 6 seconds. So with my last 6 seconds of time, I just want to say thank you all for being